Councillors, I'll declare the meeting open and call for apologies and leave of absence. Mr General Manager, would you like to report?
Through you, Mr Mayor. So Councillors Sutherland, Councillor Sharpham and Councillor North are all out of the city on business.
Help someone accept. All in favour? Accepting. Thank you. Move to item 2, community consultation. We have no community consultation tonight, no one registered, so we'll move to item 3 in the business paper agenda, and that's minutes from the previous meeting. Could I have someone move that they're a true and correct record? Councillor Mears, seconded Councillor Budd. Any questions in relation to those minutes? I'll put that as being a true and correct record. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Mark, you? Yeah, thank you. All. We'll move to item 4, disclosure of interest. There are no any disclosures of interest tonight. Councillor Rodder.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Item 10.2, as I'm involved in that sport, I'd like to register a less than significant non-pecuniary interest, and I will remain in the chamber to discuss it. I think. Oh, and also 11.2, which will become 12.2. I am a volunteer at the Power Station Museum, but currently on leave. And I'll also declare less than significant non-pecuniary interest and stay in the chamber for that as well.
Thanks, Councillor Rodder. Any other disclosures? There being no other disclosure, we'll move on to item 5, Merrill Minute. There is no Merrill Minute. We'll move to item 6, notice of motion. There is no notices of motion. We'll now move into open council reports. Item 7, environment and planning. And we have a matter 7.1. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Move Councillor Budd. Second to Councillor Mears. Councillor Budd, do you wish to speak to that? Anybody wish to speak against that recommendation in that report? Any further comments on that? Councillor Rodder.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I saw a recent advertisement by a local real estate agent that promoted a house and land package at Moore Creek for an eye-watering $975,000. And I thought, is this meant to be truly affordable home for a family? And moving on, obviously we've got a lot of rural land around our region, and I believe, although it probably this initial plan won't please everyone, it is a step in the right direction, and it certainly makes perfect sense. And something that many residents and families have been waiting for a long time. I think there are concerns, obviously, over the size of the potential second dwelling and also the distance that it can be from the primary dwelling. I don't think that's actually a reason to knock it on the head. And I just think in these times when it can be difficult to afford the costs of both land and a house, it's a great initiative for some fortunate rural and regional families, and I'll certainly be supporting it.
Thank you, Councillor Rodder. Any further comments, councillors? There being no further comments, I'll put the recommendation 7.1. All in favour say aye and raise your hand. Carried unanimously. Councillors, we'll now move to item 7.2. If I could have a mover and a seconder, please. Moved Councillor Mears, seconded Councillor Impey. Councillor Mears, you wish to speak to that? Anyone wish to speak against that report and that recommendation? Any further comments on that recommendation? Councillor Rodder.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, I realise that Tamworth is continuing to grow. The biggest concern I have with this proposal, and I'm not going to oppose it, is the impact to Manilla Road. And I really do feel that that developers of big new subdivisions like this should be part of the solution, should provide part of the solution to new subdivisions such as that. Because we have seen already daily flow traffic along Manilla Road, Tribe Street, the intersection of Peel and Tribe Streets, the intersection of Tribe and Piper Streets, and the roundabout at Peel and Marriott Streets. And I believe that I'd like to see some, I guess, acknowledgement from the developer of that site, what their proposal would be to mitigate the impacts of their subdivision on Manilla Road, particularly into the future, because look, we can't keep on going back to the ratepayers or taxpayers of New South Wales and saying we need funds to develop a new road or widen a road, and I don't think there's certainly no limited capacity to widen anything along Minnalow Road, particularly between Peel Street and out to Oxley Vale. So, you know, I'd like to see moving forward or into the future something that might come back that would show what a developer might like to do to mitigate traffic impacts into the future.
Thanks, councillor Rodder. Further comments? I think all councillors, having read their business paper, realise this is approving it to go out on public exhibition. So, being no further comments, I'll ask for those in support. Say aye. Aye. Those against, carried unanimously. Councillors, will now move on to item 7.3, the planning proposal for the establishment of the Tamworth Special Entertainment Precinct. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Brooke, seconder Councillor Impey. Councillor Brooke, do you wish to speak to that?
Reserve the right, Mr Mayor.
Anybody wish to speak against that recommendation in front of us? There being any further comments on that recommendation in front of us? That being the case, I'll put the recommendation. Councillor Rodder.
Just a question, I just noticed the time, 12 p.m. midnight, is that likely to be the usual time that a pub or a nightclub or something will?
Councillor Rodder,
Did I-
just
did I
ask that
misread?
question again, please.
Sorry.
Can you ask that question again?
I just noticed that within the body of the report is mentioned 12 p.m. midnight, and is that like the limit to the operating hours of?
Councillor Rodder, I'll ask Director Gina to make comment on that.
Sorry. Through you, Mr Mayor, it will depend on the individual business and their liquor licence. So there's businesses now in our CBD that can operate either through to 3 a.m. or 24 hours. So there'll be no change to that. What the difference is, we will know the sound levels, and so the ability for concerns to be raised if an individual business exceeds those accepted sound levels is going to be more evident than where we stand at the moment. But no, there's not a general, you all have to close at 12 midnight.
Just a supplementary question. So essentially the 12 p.m. thing is basically that, I guess, post that you've got a, the special entertainment precinct sort of rules don't apply beyond that time. So it basically will be subject, noise concerns will be able to be controlled beyond 12 o'clock. That's what.
Yes, that's correct. So if you're only operating in the earlier hours, and you could be a cafe or something, that's all accepted. But if you're going to be operating longer than that, well, that's where you certainly need your proper licensing approval and to enable you to operate those longer hours. Does that, have I answered it correct? That's the question you asked. Thank you.
Councillor Rodder, you happy with that? Any further questions, councillors? There being no further questions or further comments, I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour say aye, raising your hand. Carried unanimously. Councillors, that now takes us on to item 8, infrastructure and services. 8.1, Forest Road landfill. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Budd, seconded Councillor Brooke. Councillor Budd, do you wish to speak to that?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Anyone wish to speak against that recommendation? Any further comments on that recommendation? Councillor Rodder.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just questions. I'm just wondering, why does council need to engage a consultant as named on page 26 of the report? Do our staff not have the requisite skill sets? It's way down here. How often are consultants engaged by Tamworth Regional Council for similar works, and how often is this consultant engaged by Tamworth Regional Council? What qualifications does the consultant possess to undertake this work at the site? What is the likely average cost of this consultant to the ratepayers of Tamworth Regional Council, and can we receive a report generally detailing the cost of this and indeed other consultants? As I note, the consultant's cost is not identified in the financial implications section of this report. And I assume that it probably has gone through an EIO tender process. And Does the consultant have any close associations with any personnel within TRC? And I'm assuming if they do, there's relevant conflict of interest disclosures made.
Councillor Rodder, there was a fair few questions there, but I might ask Mr Logan to...
I could hear.
You-
I can answer one at a time, or we can take them on notice. And
So-
I can provide a more detailed response.
Councillor Rodder, because you...
Mr Mayor, if I could just make a comment, understanding where Councillor Rodder's coming from, I think you're confusing this consultant with PM Anderson Consulting, based in the Central Coast, of which I have an affiliation with. This is a different consultant entirely.
I'll just email them to.
So Councillor Rodder will take the questions on notice. If you can email those questions through the General Manager to Bruce, that would be good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further comments or questions? There being no further debate, I'll put that recommendation. All those in favour say aye, raising your hand. Carried unanimously. Councillors will now move to item 9, Governance Strategy and Finance. 9.1, could I have a mover and seconder for council investments? Councillor Impey, seconded Councillor Brooke. Councillor Impey, you want to talk to that?
No, thanks, Mr Mayor.
Anyone wants to speak against that report or question that report? Any further comments on that report? I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour say aye. Carried. Councillors will go to 9.2, Tamworth Regional Council Consolidated Financial Reports. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Moved Councillor Budd, seconded Councillor Mears. Councillor Budd, do you wish to...
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Anyone wish to speak against that report? Any further questions on that report? Councillor Mears.
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd just like to congratulate the Directorate again. I'm not a numbers person, not to this extent anyway, and the reports that they write to us are generally very, very concise and quite easy to go through. So I thank them for their work.
Thank you. Councillors, any further comments? There being no further comments, I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour say aye, raising your hand. Carried unanimously. Councillors, we'll move straight into community services in 10. I have 10.1, Sri Lanka versus Australia over 65, fee waiver request. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Mears, seconded Councillor Brooke. Councillor Mears, you wish to speak to that?
Yeah, thanks, Mr Mayor. Yeah, look, I'd stand obviously to support this motion. It's great to have international sports of any kind coming into the Tamworth region. Should provide a lot of excitement for our residents and also a boost for business in the town.
Any further comments, councillors? Anyone wish to make further comments? Councillor Impey?
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Just a quick one. Just as we move closer to the Olympics of 2032 in Brisbane, whilst cricket is not an Olympic sport, it is a significant sport around the world. It's played by, around 1.8 billion people. So in our quest as a sporting community to further attract sporting events to our region, I think events such as these, that is an international event, is important. It highlights and showcases our ability to focus on hosting events, and we don't have to go back very far to know that we hosted a very successful rugby league competition very recently. And it's yet another opportunity to showcase our region, our city, and the people who live in our community.
Thank you, Councillor Impey. Further comments, councillors? I'll just make one quick comment. We have many cricketers in our region that play in the veterans, and I think I do know of one fellow that might be getting very close to 90. So we have some we're very well, I guess, represented in that veterans cricket area. So, councillors, no further comments. I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour say aye. Carried unanimously. Councillors, will now go to item 10.2, Hockey New South Wales funding. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Budd, seconded Councillor Mears. Councillor Budd, you wish to speak to that?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Two in a row, two motions in relation to council bringing sport and tourism into our town and promoting those sports throughout our region, providing opportunities for young kids to see up-and-coming sports people, opportunities to have a vision for what they might do in the future, And I commend the motion to our members of council. And keeping in mind these are things we need to approach and we need to endorse as they come before us. It's so important to our communities. It really is the backbone to tourism, and it really is a major boost to our financial gains for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wish to speak against that recommendation? Any further comments on that recommendation? Councillor Impey?
Oh, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Ditto from what I said just a few moments ago, but wouldn't it be fantastic if in the future we're able to focus on or showcase our city to a visiting national hockey team for the 2032 Olympics? I think as we move closer, and 2032 is not that far away, once again, events such as this, large-scale events, 800 competitors is not a small event, is showcasing our community and our facilities that we have in our own part of the world, and largely thanks to the hockey community and also to governments of all levels for those facilities that we have.
Thank you. Councillor Rodder?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In light of recent investments in other sports such as the ITF World Tennis Tour and the Koori Cup early this year, this is a tiny investment really that our council can make compared to the benefits that many hockey events bring to our region annually. If we are successful in gleaning the under-16 state championships, it will also go well with the over 45 Masters state championships that are going to be held in Tamworth next year. As well as the annual Kim Small Shield and York Cup Under-12s Development Weekend that also attracts thousands of players, siblings, parents and grandparents annually, which all equals a big economic input into the Tamworth region. In relation to our surfaces, we've got 2 international surfaces, 1 national surface, so we could actually have a host international team here prior to the 2032 Olympics, and I know that the hockey community here and elsewhere, they're all talking about potentially doing that, and look, I hope that we, when we get to that point, that we can attract some country here, perhaps Netherlands or something like that, would be good. But yes, this will be great if we can attract the under-16s for next year. Will go well with the other 2 events that hockey has, and the only way that we can build capacity in that facility is, and to keep obviously maintaining those expensive fields is by having events like this. And I just wanted to mention something in relation to what Councillor Impey said. Other than the investment that council and state government made a few years ago, that facility, particularly the 2 surfaces, the original surface adjacent Ringers Road and the middle one, they were largely constructed by the players and the work of the players. So that's how sometimes, that's a sort of, I guess, dedication you need from volunteers to get facilities like that. And hockey has been benefited from many years of dedicated support from many dedicated volunteers.
Thanks, Councillor Rodder. Any further comments, councillors? There being no further comments, I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour say aye. Raising your hand. Carried unanimously. Councillors, now we'll move into item 11 to talk about reports in closed council, but I'll ask the General Manager, has anyone asked for any of those items in closed council to be brought forward into open council?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Does anyone in the audience want to bring any of those items forward? No. Councillors, could I call for a motion to move into closed council? Councillor Budd, second to Councillor Mears. All those in favour say aye. Aye. We'll move into closed council.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillors, report of the closed session of the ordinary council meeting held on the 11th of November 2025. There were 2 items considered in closed council this evening, and for both those items you adopted the recommendations as per your business papers.